Oh brother, Fallout 76 just cannot seem to catch a break, but given how this was a grave of Bethesda's own making, I honestly cannot say I harbor much sympathy. I mean, it's hard to deny that the product that was delivered was simply unacceptable for a $60 AAA game, particularly one that comes from a veteran like Bethesda. Visually, Fallout 76 looks even more dated than Fallout 4 did back in 2015, which by itself already looked dated. Technically, it's possibly Bethesda's buggiest and most poorly optimized release yet. Artistically, it's got the Fallout coat of paint, but none of the soul of the series. And from a game design perspective, the game falters on so many fundamental levels, it's hard to know where to begin. At least past Bethesda games delivered enough on the core experience that people could overlook the glaring issues that have been plaguing Bethesda titles for decades now. But with Fallout 76 lacking so much substance, these issues have become that much more difficult to ignore. I think most will agree that it's time to stop giving Bethesda a pass for their repeated pattern of technical mishaps. It was kind of amusing before, but after Fallout 76, their negligence when it comes to quality assurance has become a major liability, and it's time to stop enabling them to keep living under the illusion that they're impregnable from being criticized for half-baked game releases. Fortunately, consumers and journalists alike have spoken loud and clear, judging by less than stellar review scores from both sides of the fence, and judging by how early UK retail sales figures indicate that Fallout 76 is off to a very rough start, having sold 82.4% fewer retail copies in the UK than Fallout 4 did, which is an unprecedented markdown. Other indicators that Fallout 76 is struggling to perform commercially include the fact that merely a week after launch, the game was already being sold at 33% off, having been discounted to $40 for Black Friday. Such a significant discount so shortly after launch simply doesn't happen unless a game is woefully underperforming, not even during Black Friday. Hell, the price was dropped even further on Amazon not too long ago from $40 to $35, a level of discount that not even more niche titles that released within close proximity like Hitman 2 or Spyro Reignited Trilogy are experiencing. But Fallout 76's woes don't just end with its disastrous critical performance and what's looking to be underwhelming sales performance. Another issue that's taken the limelight recently was players' inability to issue refunds for Fallout 76 in light of the fact that they had bought a product that shipped half-baked. Now, at first, players didn't seem to be having a hard time getting a refund for Fallout 76, with one ResetEra user reporting that they were able to get their money back for the PC version of the game by expressing dissatisfaction towards the bugs and poor performance. And this was all despite having played 24 hours of the game. And on top of that, multiple users on Reddit have also reported having successfully gone through a refund process after contacting Bethesda support. But more recently, reports suggest that some people are having trouble getting Bethesda to issue a refund for Fallout 76, with one particular Reddit post by user ZP Kane gaining traction. He began by pointing out that Fallout 76 ran terribly on PC and that he couldn't even connect with his friends half the time for some reason, which is why he decided to submit a refund request. After doing so, the initial response he got reads as follows: "Greetings, thank you for contacting the Bethesda customer support team. Unfortunately, we do not have the ability to begin processing that refund for you right at this moment. There is nothing to worry about though. We'll begin processing the refund as soon as we can, and we'll reach back out to you via email to let you know once we have started that process. Thank you for your continued interest and support. Warm regards, Bethesda customer support." So it basically seemed like a refund was pretty much assured, judging by how the email said they'd start the process soon and that they'd let the user know when that happens. But a day later, ZP Kane was met with this follow-up email: "Greetings, thank you for contacting the Bethesda support team. Customers who have downloaded the game are not eligible for a refund. We apologize for the inconvenience. If there is anything else we can assist you with, please reply to this email for further assistance. Thank you for your patience. Kind regards, Bethesda support." Now, it's hard for me to say whether this is an isolated issue or if it's a widespread problem, as it looks like some people are able to get their refund just fine, while others seem to have to jump through some hoops but to no avail. But it's worth noting that reports of users successfully being refunded seem to originate from a few days ago, while reports of unsuccessful attempts at refunds seem to be cropping up more recently, leading some to believe that Bethesda might have decided to be less lenient with refunds as more requests kept pouring in. This bit is purely conjecture, and it could just be that there's some miscommunication within Bethesda support, leading some representatives to give out refunds without issue, and others to be more strict about following policies Bethesda has in place. Another possibility is that because refund policies may vary by region or country, different people across the globe may be experiencing different results. Regardless of what exactly may be going on behind the scenes or what's causing some refunds to not go through, the main point to highlight is that the lack of clarity and consistency on Bethesda's part regarding who's eligible for a refund and who isn't is causing unease, especially as more buyers continue to contemplate returning the undercooked Fallout 76 and getting their money back. Now, in light of all this noise and concern regarding Bethesda's handling of refunds, a law firm has caught wind of rumblings surrounding this issue, taking to Reddit to express interest in investigating potential deceptive trade practices that may be taking place on Bethesda's part. It hasn't even been a day since this was posted by the law firm, and already it's trending on the PC gaming subreddit, and it has garnered over 16,000 upvotes as of the publishing of this video. The post reads as follows. Migliaccio and Rathod LLP is currently investigating Bethesda Game Studios for releasing a heavily glitched game, Fallout 76, and refusing to issue refunds for PC purchasers of the game who found it to be unplayable because of its technical problems. While minor bugs and glitches are expected with the release of most new games, Fallout 76 launched with a 56GB patch that has proven to be but a starting point for the game's problems. Gamers who have tried to receive a refund because of the game's myriad glitches have been unable to do so since they downloaded the game, leaving them to deal with an unplayable experience until patches bring it back to a playable state. The post then provided contact information to allow readers to share their experience with the firm regarding going through Fallout 76's refund process, before highlighting how the law firm has years of experience in litigation against large corporations, including cases that may involve unfair and deceptive trade practices. The main focus of this particular investigation is whether Bethesda denying refunds to people for downloading Fallout 76 is unlawful given the state in which the game shipped, especially when downloading a game is required to take it for a spin and determine its integrity. Granted, I'm not an expert in consumer protection laws, so I cannot say for sure whether there is a case to be made here or not. I also don't know what kind of feedback the law firm has been receiving from Redditors, though with this post being so popular, there was seemingly enough traffic to temporarily crash their website at one point, suggesting they've been getting a lot of testimonials. Furthermore, looking down at some of the comments on this Reddit post, it's possible to spot a few other users reporting that they too were denied refunds by Bethesda support because they downloaded the game, null and voiding the process, though again it's hard to say why some refund requests are being approved while others are being denied, but whatever system is currently in place sure feels buggy, something Bethesda is all too familiar with. Frustrations among customers aside, this whole debacle has also raised suspicions, leading some to question Bethesda's decision to release the PC version of Fallout 76 exclusively on their Bethesda launcher rather than on Steam. After all, Steam offers a reasonable and very clear policy that allows players to request a refund within 14 days of a game's purchase and as long as the game hasn't been played for more than 2 hours, raising the question of whether Fallout 76 was purposely hosted exclusively on the Bethesda launcher to circumvent these refund policies. If you ask me, it's too presumptuous to say that this was all part of some kind of master plan on Bethesda's part, but regardless of what their intentions might be, there is certainly no denying that their launcher does grant them more autonomy over their games, with refund policies falling under that umbrella. So it is on Bethesda to respond to the situation, address concerns, and clarify their policies and ongoing inconsistencies before things get out of hand. Now, from what I read on Bethesda.net, As far as digital purchases are concerned, any pre-orders can be cancelled by contacting Bethesda support, but as soon as a game is released and a game code is delivered, you will not be able to request a refund. There is also a section detailing UK and European order return and refund policy, stipulating how if digital content is downloaded within the 30 days cancellation period, you waive your cancellation rights, which might be related to users being told they aren't eligible for refunds because they downloaded the game. That's all I've been able to find as far as Bethesda return policies go, which isn't much to go on, doesn't seem to offer buyers many options, and doesn't quite explain why some people are struggling to get refunds more than others. Now, as far as the law goes, based on my brief research, in the United States, refund policies are usually governed by state laws, and on the federal level, there is no mandate for refunds upon product return unless the purchased item happens to be defective or is found to be unfit for its intended purpose. Furthermore, the Federal Trade Commission ensures protection to customers by enforcing federal protection laws meant to prevent fraudulent, deceptive, or unfair business practices, such as false advertising. So it would seem as though whether there are grounds for legal action against Bethesda and Fallout 76 will ride on whether it can be successfully argued in court that the company was deceptive about the product they were selling and that the product itself was defective, thereby allowing customers to demand refunds. Not gonna lie, I can totally see how the argument could be made that Bethesda engaged in some deceptive marketing in the months leading up to Fallout 76, a topic that I hope to cover more extensively in a separate video. And it's hard to argue against Fallout 76 being a defective product in the state it launched, colloquially speaking at least. But that's just my own take. Whether there's legal precedent for such arguments to be used in court is a whole other matter entirely, and I'd much rather leave it up to legal experts to determine the best course of action. As for who this law firm is, a quick Google search of Migliaccio and Rathod LLP will reveal that they are based in Washington, D.C., and that they've got a stellar user rating based on 25 reviews, suggesting they're not a huge firm, but they've handled a decent amount of cases that have seemingly left a good impression, unless of course some of these reviews happen to be fake. I honestly cannot speak for this law firm's intentions with all this, whether this is all some kind of opportunistic PR stunt, or whether they're genuinely concerned for consumers who purchase Fallout 76 and are serious about pushing forward with this investigation. And assuming this does culminate into a legal battle, I wonder if this firm will have the manpower and resources to combat Bethesda's army of lawyers. But I suppose only time will tell how all of this pans out. Honestly, part of me gets the feeling that this will all end up petering out in the end and that nothing will really come of this in the long run, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Until then, I'd love to hear what your take is on this strange and unexpected new development in the comments below. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy my content and would like to support this channel directly, consider donating on Patreon. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Yong Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out.